So as the title says, I finally finished all of the Ultimate Raids. It only took 11 months, all of my 2023. I took breaks in between each one, but roughly 11 months to go from the first Ultimate Raid to the last one. And that includes unlocking them as well. Because unlocking DSR on top, you can't unsync those raids, so I still had to do P8S, man. I'm not good at that raid. But anyway, yeah, the Omega Protocol. So when I do these fights, I like to do them in Party Finder because I'm not a big fan of the idea of being in a static and having, 2, 3, 4 days of the week dedicated to this one thing for 2, 3, 4 months, however long it takes. I don't want my days to be taken up for that long, right? So I like cramming all of that time into a short period over a few weeks, just so I can be done with the fight and go back to doing anything else. This one still took the longest. I started it on the 5th of October and it's currently the 4th of November, so about a month. But it didn't have to take that long. I think I could have done it in 3 weeks, the same as DSR. It's just certain days either don't fill at all, and other times you just get unfortunate parties that don't get to the point that you wanted to get to. It's fun until you have to do Pantocrator more than you'd like to be doing it. If you get into a group and you're wiping at P2 for some reason all the time, and you just have to consistently keep doing P1. Phase 2 is pretty fun though. I really like party synergy. There's something so satisfying about being lined up and getting knocked back in the correct position. Phase 3 is also quite fun. Until you realize, it's really just the same thing every time. It just depends on where you start. The one thing I hate though about this fight is monitors. Now, in the strats that Party Finder uses on my data center, I actually have a really easy job. Like, there's not many spots I actually can go to because of the lineup that we do. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actual monitor itself and turning the damn thing. I don't know if it's because I play on controller or if it's my movement, controls or whatever, but I just hate lining monitors up. I have to really not greed at all and just really take my time to line it up properly because I'm just not going to be able to do it in time if I don't. Phase 5 is pretty interesting too. The whole thing is really about setting yourself up for P6 so that you can all limit break. It's about baiting the hello near world and distant world buff so that everybody, gets hit and everyone ends up with 3 stacks. I don't know why. I think I'm going to say Delta is the hardest part of Phase 5. I don't know why. It just goes wrong every time I get there in Party Finder. Either someone doesn't stack so the fists kill you, or someone snaps tethers too early, or at the same time for some reason, like the blue ones, or again the Christmas tether, maybe someone breaks that way too early before, the vulnerability goes off, or the last one after you've done the whole mechanic successfully, the last tether, all you have to do is time it correctly, but no. So Delta goes wrong all the time. Sigma's not that bad because people use a macro, so someone will put in the chat a macro that will show where, which tethers should be in which towers. So you can just take a look at that and remind yourself where you need to go. Omega also terrified the fuck out of me with the beginning part and the dodges. What it came down to was there's one dodge that I really dislike, and that dodge is the double in. So into the male and into the female. And the reason I hate that is because I feel like the safe spot is way smaller than any of the other types of dodges. Because let's say, I don't know, maybe it's double out, right? So out from male, out from female. You just go to the corner, okay? It's very simple, you know exactly where to go. If it's out from female and into the male, you can use the markers, at least these markers that we have. You can kind of line up next to them, and the safe spot is huge, but just that double in one with the really small safe spot. You can't see yourself either. You can't see your character because everybody else is standing there too. So even if you're standing there, you might even still clip the thing because it's just really difficult to see in my opinion. And then Phase 6 is also, it's more difficult than I'd say any other Ultimate Final Phase, right? Like DSR, there's basically 3 mechanics. Phase 6, there's just a bit more to it. You've got the Exa lines, which unfortunately I have died to them before. I didn't think I would, but there you go. So with DSR X-Flares, you can dodge the same exact way every time. At least with this, there is a bit of a different pattern to it, which makes that a bit tougher. And then you've got unlimited wave cannon, which I really struggle to see that sometimes. In this run I started going a bit more south, so I could kind of see the whole arena. And I don't know, I just think there's more to, you know, there's tank busters and stacks and stuff, and spreads as well. I think there's just more going on in this Phase 6 than DSR Phase 7. And I'm just strictly speaking for playing as a summoner, right? I'm not talking about tanking or healing or anything. I don't know how that differs, because I don't play those jobs. But yeah, this was a pretty decent run overall. And that being said, all of the ultimates are now complete until next year. And I'll make sure that, you know, I do this while it's new. Not, you know, day one or anything, but maybe a month, maybe 2 months after it comes out. My data center has some strategies that have been made. Because I'm not, like, too bothered about blind progging. It already takes me a long time to do it with strategies, right? I've got other games I want to play, there's other things I want to do, and I really just enjoy doing these fights and the experience of going through it in its entirety over a few weeks with the strats that we already have, right? I'm not like too, at least right now, I'm not too bothered about making my own strategies or anything like that and doing it from there, because quite frankly I don't think I'm that good enough, and I just don't think I'd be able to put all that time in to make something like that happen. But I'll definitely do the next ultimate while it's new, now that I'm caught up, basically. So I'll just let the run play. Thank you for watching. Also, the music, I was playing with the music, the background music turned off, so I just put it in afterwards and overlaid it while editing. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.